All right. Welcome back to the MadSpideyVerse. Thanks for tuning in. If you're catching this obviously live or catching this on the rewind. Just thought I'd basically just do a random live stream. I haven't done a random live stream for quite a while, or any kind of live stream for a while. Obviously I'm on a lot of other people's channels and things like that, but I haven't actually done one on mine for quite a while. I just thought I'd just jump on and just show a few books. Just go, let's have a look. Hey Darren, hope you're doing well, mate. Just obviously, there's people in Australia, like this is like 9 o'clock at night. Just 9 o'clock at night, so it's probably very early in the States, so I doubt anybody will actually be around from the States, which is fine by me. I'm quite happy to just show the books and just end it. So if anybody does sort of want to jump in or something at any point or whatever like that, I can always post the link or something like that anyway. But yeah, if not, I'll just show the books and and we'll end it. So show all the new books first. Because as I said in the description, basically, I haven't been to my other LCS, which is, if you watch Simple Simon's channel, is Mark from Big City Comics. There was a lot of books. I'd pretty much been boxed, and I only picked up half of them. There was just, ridiculous amount. A lot of stuff that I don't even remember ordering. And then sort of when I see it, I'm like, I ordered it. Fair enough. Just a lot of books. So I only picked up half of them, unfortunately, because it was just a lot of money. Obviously over in, overseas, especially in the States, you're paying your $2.99, your $3.99, stuff like that. But for us, unfortunately, your $2.99, your $3.99 books are like $8, $9, $10. It just keeps adding up. You get like $9.99, you're paying like $20 basically by the time your currency conversion and obviously all the freight charges and stuff like that. And obviously they've got to make some margin on it, so it ends up being quite a they become quite expensive over here, new books, unfortunately. So it's probably good in a way that we don't actually get the exclusives like some the US especially does. They've got all these store exclusives and con exclusives and artist exclusives, and it just gets ridiculous. So, but anyway, I'll just show you the books that I picked up. I don't even remember, like obviously all the Spidey stuff and things like that will be my usual sort of stuff, but I've been buying a lot of mini series and things like that, just in case there's any sort of first appearances, or it becomes one of those books that I might want later on down the track. And I've said it before, I've said it a million times, I don't want it to be another Ultimate Fallout 4. I'm still wanting that book. It's still one of those sort of books that's haunting me and has haunted me for quite a few many years. But in saying that, that's why I've been buying so many miniseries, but I do need to cut down on all the newer books because it's just getting ridiculous. Like, put it this way, like when I went to Big City Comics and we totaled up everything that I had in my box, it was over $600. That's a lot of money for new books. So I used to spend about $300 a month on new books, but now I don't get any. I just get a few old books. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. Like, obviously, I'm always going to collect Spidey stuff, collect Punisher, collect Ghost Rider, stuff like that. I've got to stop looking at all these like spec websites and all that sort of stuff, because otherwise, I'm just buying books, like, for argument's sake, like this. Wakanda #1, like, gorgeous cover, don't get me wrong, like, it's an absolute stunning cover. But I'm like, I only bought it because the second movie was coming out, and I'm like, why do I really need this? Is it going to become $1 million book one day? Who knows? but I need to stick to buying my core thing is buying silver, bronze, copper age Marvel books, trying to get keys that I have on my list, and just books in general that I have on my wish list. That's why I've done that new series, my comic wish list, to try and show people what I'm actually hunting, not to get people to buy them for me. That's not the intention at all, because a lot of the books on that list are really, really big books. But it's more for me as well to sort of go, like I can have a look through these past videos and go, yeah, I want to start hunting that particular book or something like that. Like I did. My last video was I bought a Grail. I picked up my Tomb of Dracula 10, first appearance of Blade. That's a book I've been wanting for almost 20 years. You barely ever see it over here, and if you do, it's $2, $3, $4, $1,000. It's ridiculous. Like I've heard stories of guys in the States, oh yeah, I found it for $50 or I found it for $100 or whatever. That shit doesn't happen over here, plain and simple. If it does, it's, you might as well buy a lottery ticket, because that hardly ever happens over here. But in saying that, let's get stuck back into the books. And that's it. That's exactly right. Like with $600, I could pick up like some big silver or bronze age key or something like that. Like there's plenty of like, I'm not just sticking to Spidey stuff, because obviously a lot of people know I only need 4 books plus annual 1 to complete my entire Spidey run. And obviously they're all really, really expensive books. But in saying that, $600 might buy me, I don't know, might buy me maybe, probably wouldn't buy me an Ultimate Fallout 4. But yeah, might buy me that, might buy me, I don't know, first Adam Warlock, or, first Silver Surfer. Probably not Silver Surfer, but you know what I mean. It's that sort of stuff that I'm looking for and actively searching for. And that $600 could either pay it or pay a lot of it. So, but yeah, I didn't spend the $600. I only bought all because we always group them, sort of the $3.99s, $4.99. This is the US prices: $3.99s, $4.99s, and then like the 5s, 7s, and 9s or whatever like that. And then I sort of work out how much I actually want to spend, and then I pretty much just go, okay, well, I buy all the $3.99s today, or I buy all the $4.99s, so on and so forth. Hey, Sarah. I'm assuming you've probably just finished work. Hope it wasn't too crazy. So obviously, I showed the Wakanda #1. Obviously, same principle again. Probably bought this because of the second Black Panther movie coming out. So that's the Namor mini series that's out at the moment. So that's #1. As I said, I haven't picked some of these books up for quite a while. So I didn't go into any of the variants or anything like that. Like usually when it's just something that I just want the mini series, I won't go into all the variants and stuff like that, unless something really catches my eye, that I'll actually go for something like that. I wasn't stuck behind the counter tonight. Ah, well, you're out on the sales floor, whipping up a storm. Hopefully, saying hello to each other. Yep. So those ones were more because of the movie, obviously, that I was buying. Obviously, Punisher is something that I've collected for years. I haven't got. I got it from Mark, of course. You know that, Sarah. Because these are all the new books. So, generally with the Punisher ones, like with the ongoing series, I usually just pick up just the A covers. I don't bother going too much into the variants. If it's a one shot or something like that, or maybe a mini series, there might be an occasional variant that I might buy an occasional variant, things like that. But just try and stick to the A covers as much as I can. I only picked up half I'd been boxed, Sarah. As I said just a little bit earlier, if I had have picked up everything that was in the box, it was over $600. There's a lot. It was a lot there. I bought all the $4.99s and the 5s and the 7s and stuff like that. I left all the $3.99s there this time. But yeah, there was still a pretty decent stack. So, but that's Punisher issue number 7 of the new ongoing series at the moment. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I don't know what volume. I can't remember what volume this is. Because I missed a lot of there was no figures. There was comics in the crate. I didn't pick up the crate either. But there was no figures. What was I saying? Yeah, Punisher with the Punisher. I don't know, because I collected all, like I got all the, obviously the limited series before the main series came out, so they classify that now as volume 1. But the main, when it became an ongoing series, I think I got nearly that entire run, but I didn't collect too much after, so I didn't go into like the Marvel Knights or the Max series or anything like that. So I might eventually pick them up. I didn't even delve too much into War Journal or War Zone or anything like that. I do have a few books, but I wouldn't mind trying to pick some of them up as well if I could. My bad. Thought I saw a figure that was ordered in for you. No, I'm not really too much of a figure person. Too much. But in saying that, yeah, the Punish, I'm pretty sure, like speaking of War Journal, I'm pretty sure this was a one-shot. I actually thought I bought a couple of variant covers, whether I just didn't pick them up at the time or whether I only bought just bought the A cover, which usually when it's a one-shot of a character I like, I'll generally buy a few variant covers, but yeah, I obviously didn't this time. So, oh, here he is, the Insomniac himself. Yes, or CJ. Hello to all the vampire koalas. Oh, God. Another character that I like, but I only mainly bought this because it was more of a homage to the first appearance, is Moon Knight in the current Moon Knight series. This is actually the annual. So as you can see, there's Werewolf by Night on there. So a little bit of a homage to the Werewolf by Night 32 first appearance of Moon Knight. Sort of a bit of a reversal, obviously, because the first one was in first appearance was in his book, and now this is on a Moon Knight book. But yeah, just picked up the A cover for that. More because I'm sort of, as I said before, I am getting a bit more into some of the horror books. So I'm trying to collect the Tomb of Dracula run from the 70s. So the first volume, Tomb of Dracula run. Obviously, I picked up that massive book this week. There's still quite a few keys that I need. I know I still need number 1. And I still need the first cameo and full appearance of Deacon Frost, and I think the first appearance of Hannibal King as well. They're the main sort of keys in that sort of run, but I'm also trying to pick up some Werewolf by Night books, and they're pretty scarce over here. And if you do find them, even just a regular filler sort of issue still goes for $30-$40. It's very hard to pick up Werewolf by Night books over here. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to pick up some more of the Tomb of Dracula run and the Werewolf by Night run. The other thing I've been getting stuck on a little bit lately is some Man-Thing books as well. Been able to pick up them for reasonable prices, or reasonable over here anyway. Are you going to start making content for the Insomniacs? Well, I always release my videos, like obviously for our time, I always release them at night, generally between sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock up till about 9:30, like our time at night. So you guys will be, generally get them probably depending on which part of the country. I know you're in New York. Generally get it around sort of like 4 to 6 to 8 in the morning, somewhere around there, depending on the part of the country. Over Marvel Spotlight 2. Yeah, I do have that book. I was able to cross that off a couple of months ago, actually, which I was very, very happy to pick up. So I have picked up some of the bigger keys in the Tomb and the Werewolf series, but there are still a lot to go. So hopefully I'll be able to pick them up. Well, I've got one of our small comic fairs is happening on this Sunday. I don't know whether you guys are going, Sarah. But yeah, so that'll be a small comic fair. Usually pick up some good books and stuff like that there. And then the following weekend, they're doing a Christmas special of Oz Comic Con. Excuse me. Which is the biggest, one of the two biggest cons that we have, or we only really have two big cons. We have Supernova Expo and Oz Comic Con. For some stupid reason, Oz Comic Con's usually around June, July. They've decided to do one 2 weeks before Christmas. I don't know why. It's stupid. Like I can understand the reasoning behind it. Okay, yes, they think that a lot of people are going to spend money because it's Christmas. People are going to buy presents for people, stuff like that, which is fair enough. But in saying that, a lot of people probably already done their Christmas shopping, have no money, and probably won't go. So it's going to be interesting to see the numbers of how much people are actually going to turn up. So, I have the wheel, but it collects everything. Yeah, I'm not a trade. I'm not a omnibus. I've always been a single issue floppy sort of collector. I've never bothered with collecting that sort of stuff because I haven't been a reader for a long time. Like I'm still buying it for my own enjoyment. I still love collecting. I still love the covers and things like that. I'll still look at them and things like that, but I haven't been much of a reader for quite a many years now, unfortunately. I just, between work, between YouTube, work, outside like personal life, health stuff, whatever, I find it's an excuse, but it's, I don't really have time too much to read. Like I can't sort of dedicate, okay, I've got, 5 spare hours or 2 spare hours or something like that. I'll read a couple of issues or something like that. I just something that's very hard for me to try and just allocate time for. So maybe eventually I might get back into reading. But in saying that, I'm just loving the hunt, loving the collecting. And yeah, especially for the older books, as most people know. So, all right. So, speaking of Blade, they did release. I'm pretty sure this is just a one shot. So I picked up. So it's Blade Vampire Nation. It says it's from the pages of the Avengers. So that's the cover A. And that's another thing I need to do. I need to pick up a lot of the Blade books that were done in like the early 80s, or not 80s, but more like mid to late 80s, 90s, things like that. I need to try and track some of them down as well, because I know they did a few small volumes and things like that in that sort of time frame. So I've got an odd book here and there, but I need to sort of chase them down. Once again, they're not very common over here. Picked up a couple of variants, or what was on Pull Box anyway. I don't know who did the cover, to be perfectly honest, but seeing Blade on a horse is kind of interesting. So it was a cool cover, and always can't go wrong with an In Hook Lee cover. Oops. Very cool looking cover. So yeah, definitely have to pick that up as well. We have the Big Apple Con here in New York on the 23rd. What, 23rd of December? These morons don't know how to time there. what, 2 days before Christmas they do a big con. That is stupid. I thought 2 weeks before Christmas was bad. I thought con season over in the States pretty much finished. Like I think they do a couple of cons and stuff like that, like first or second week of December, and then it's pretty much done for the year until January, I thought, but obviously not. So that's really stupid. 2 days before Christmas. You've got to be nuts. Like it'd be, as I said, like with our situation, if you've got friends or relatives or whatever that are, into comics or collectibles and stuff like that, and you haven't bought anything for them, I can understand, okay, yeah, I'll go and, just grab a few bits and pieces and stuff like that. Bit of late night shopping, or not late night shopping, but like last minute shopping, should I say. That would be a good idea. But in saying that, 2 days before Christmas is nuts. If they did that here, I'd find who ran the show and ring them up and say, you're a effing wanker. Because that's just stupid. Anyway, we digress. So, once again, as I've said earlier, picking up on what sort of, coming out and buying mini-series or one-shots and stuff like that I probably shouldn't be buying. But it's the old FOMO thing, you don't want to miss out on any keys and all that sort of stuff. So, in saying that, pretty sure this is a mini-series, either a 5 or 6 part mini-series. So you got the new Secret Invasion series. That's another thing I need to pick up. I want to try and pick up the original Secret Invasion mini-series, because I know that people have been specking hard on that. I don't care about specking. It's more the fact of that I wouldn't mind seeing the books before the show or the movie or whatever, however they're going to do it. Yeah, I want to try and get it beforehand, but yeah, in saying that, it's probably going to be hard because people are going to start putting hefty price tags on it that obviously, it's going to be released. So, but yeah, I bought that anyway. I know you love some Scotty Young, CJ, and obviously I'm being facetious. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cute. So definitely liked, I like Scotty Young. So like, I'm not a massive fan of Scotty Young, but I do like him. But yeah, so I had to pick that up, but I am a massive fan of this guy, Mr. Del Otto himself. So I definitely had to pick up that. Anything Del Otto is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. So yeah, definitely had to pick up that variant. New York, they wouldn't answer your phone call to complain. Yeah, probably not. Unfortunately, obviously being a smaller country and everybody, or not everybody knows everybody, but if you're in the industry long enough, you can find out who it is. I used to know the people who ran Oz Comic Con, and obviously I know the guy who runs Supernova. But yeah, I don't know the new people that took over Oz Comic Con. Yeah, I know you don't like Scotty Young. Another one of my favorite characters, though, is Ghost Rider, especially the 90s Ghost Rider, which is Danny Ketch. They did do a rather fat one-shot. For some reason, I thought I bought some, like, this is just the A cover. I could have sworn I got some variants of this, but obviously maybe they didn't come in, or maybe I just didn't order them. But at least I've got the A cover. The A cover is the main thing for me. Like, yeah, variant covers are all good and well, and they look fancy and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, still got to pick up the A cover regardless. So, I still need to finish my 90s Ghost Rider run. I'm not missing very many issues. I'm pretty sure it was a 93 or 94 issue for volume 2, the Danny Ketch run. I think I might only have maybe a handful of issues that I need, but they're all just, just common sort of run filler ones. There's nothing, no keys or anything like that I need, because I pretty much bought them when they came out. So now this one's an interesting one. I don't know whether this is a mini series or whether this is just a one shot. I can't quite remember. I'd have to check my pull box, but I thought it looked pretty cool. And as I said, I'm on a little bit of a horror kick at the moment. I did go a little nuts on variant covers. Not too bad. I only picked up 3 extra covers. but I can't remember whether it's I don't know whether it's a one shot or whether it's, I think it might be a one shot because I think it's just a bunch of small stories in it. I just noticed there was a lot of names on the front cover, so pretty sure it's just a one shot with a lot of mini stories in it. Hey Sean, hope you're doing well, mate. Hopefully you'll be at Yarraville on Sunday. We'll be going. I don't know whether Sarah and Simon are going or not. Sarah didn't reply to me. I did ask her whether she was going or not, but they might be working. So, but yeah. So this one is what I was talking about. Crypt of Shadows. Got a lot of my sort of favorite characters in there, and as you can see, there's whoops, hang on, oh, dropping shit everywhere. There we go. There's a lot of names there, so you can see it's a lot of different artists, a lot of different writers. If you actually have a look inside, yep, yeah. So there's a lot of like it's like a collection of mini stories, basically. No, you're going as a seller. You're going to find me my hats this time. If I don't spend all my money on big books, I suppose. Yeah, so that's cover A. This is a PG channel. Oh, if you drop stuff, you drop stuff. But yeah, as I said, I did pick up a few variants for this. This is the Ryan Stegman variant. Obviously, anything with Morbius on it, I'll generally buy. So definitely a cool cover there. Not sure who did this cover, but it's a very, very cool looking cover. I think it's a Ryan Brown cover, I think. But yes, Man Thing in X-23 there. So a very cool looking cover. And the last one, I can't remember who actually did this. I can say the signature down there, but I can't actually read it. But yeah, you got Moon Knight X-23, and it looks like Elsa Bloodstone, I think, on there. So yeah, now another very cool looking cover. Going to have them, but haven't got anything new because of the dollar. Oh, okay. Cool. That's all right. What have we got next? Pretty sure this is a mini series, 5 or 6 part mini series. And obviously, generally anything Spidey, I'll always buy. Yeah, I did say that. So, I'm definitely going to be trying to bring some dollars with me, as long as I don't get tapped out at Yarraville. But yeah, I'm hoping he's got some good books. Like, I know he always has good books. But yeah, I'll be pretty much probably just focusing on his booth, depending on, because I don't know whether Bruce or Tim or any of those guys will be going. They might do, but you know if James is going, but James hasn't been bringing any big books lately either. But anyway, that's sort of side talk. We'll get back to the actual books themselves. So yeah, so there's pretty sure it's a new mini series, Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt. Obviously, there's Craven in the background there. Very cool looking cover. And I did pick up just one of the variants with Calypso on the front. Craven's girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call her. Crazy lady. So, yeah, I did save some fun. That's why I'm going as a seller, to get some funds. Let the hobby fund itself. That's it, what they say. James is going. Okay. That's right. I'll see what they've got and see how much money are brought. And I'm sort of tossing up like the same thing I'm usually tossing up between whether I buy like one really big book or buy like a whole heap of stack of, which I usually like buying the stack or doing sort of a happy medium, buy sort of a middle range book, and buying a whole pile of other sort of smaller books. But yeah, it depends on how much I like. I might only have $500. I might have $1,000. I don't know quite yet. Hopefully, I can take at least 1,000 with me, but we'll see what happens. So, better keep going with these books. I did go a little nuts on the covers on this one as well. New mini series, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Pretty sure that's a not 100% sure, but I think that's an Andrew Robinson cover. So yeah, another new Spidey series. Obviously, a couple of variants. Pretty sure that's a David Mack cover. He usually does those sort of colors and things like that. Don't know who did this, but it's very cool. I'm assuming that might actually be what is it, Demon Bear? I think from the New Mutants. Looks like it's probably supposed to be Demon Bear, but yeah, very cool looking cover. No idea who did this one, but yeah, I pretty much just went new Spidey series or new Spidey mini series. Click every one that's available on Pullbox. Another very cool looking stylistic sort of cover. Yeah, I reckon that's Demon Bear. Very, very cool. Both have let me know that they have just picked up some big collections. Oh, great. I'm probably not going to have enough money now. Unless they picked up a... obviously, if they picked up a Spidey, any like Spideys that I need, like if they have like a 3 or a 4 or a 6 or whatever like that, and it's like all of my money, I'll be doing that. But I don't think they have it. Last time James said he doesn't pick up a lot of big Spidey books, like not the early stuff anyway. That's Penny, not the other one. All right, I went a little bit nuts on this again. You like the Spider-Man series in the 90s? They've redone just Spider-Man as a title. So I don't know whether it's going to be ongoing or it's just a mini series, but I've pretty much ordered it all anyway. So I'm pretty sure that's the Bagley A cover. Yeah, it's Bagley. I know CJ's favorite, Scotty Young, the homage to the Spider-Man in the Rain. Very popular cover that was. Not sure who did this, but it's pretty much just stacked full of every single, person in the Spider-Verse just about. So very, very cool. Penny might have some of the stuff he was showing. I know I saw he had some pictures, I think, on Facebook. I know he had an Avengers 1. I think it was about $4,000 or something like that, I think. But yeah, I can't remember the other books that he had. Bagley doesn't suck. Bagley's good. Leave Bagley alone. He's about one of the only, the stalwart sort of, artist that, does a lot all the time. I would have got another variant for Spider-Man #1. Don't know whether I like this sort of yellow stuff going on with Spidey there, but still very cool. And you can't go past an Arthur Adams. The legend himself. Super nice guy with his and his wife Joyce. Both stellar artists, and yeah, it's always like to support Arthur. So that is all the new books that I got from the pile from Big City Comics. But Mark actually did a bit of a Black Friday sale. He was doing like I think it was 10% off back issues and things like that. Now, Mark's store is mainly a new store, new books, you know, a lot of trades and stuff like that, but it's pretty much just new stuff. But he did have some, he did say to me, I've been able to grab a few boxes of back issues, nothing like obviously too big, but I was basically sitting there with my apps trying to pick out any keys that were in there at all. Picked up a small stack. It's all minor key stuff, like, you know, bad guys you've never ever heard of or only do one things, but I pretty much just nitpicked it and just took anything that had some sort of key issue to it. So I picked up, what do we got? Oh, they were cool covers or stuff I needed for runs. So this is West Coast Avengers number 4. Which is the first appearance of Master Pandemonium. So one of those just, you know, minor keys of a bad guy that you've probably seen maybe half a dozen times, and that's probably about it. But as I said, I picked up anything that had a key element to it. I pretty much just picked up. I know if my boy Beckerman was watching this, I know he'd love that I bought this book, West Coast Avengers number 46, which is the first appearance of the Great Lake Avengers, or Great Lakes Avengers, should I say? So obviously none of the characters I know or know the names of or whatever like that. But in saying that, it's still a minor key, so picked it up. Bit more of a newer sort of one, but obviously like 90s sort of good stuff. Avengers 364, which is the first appearance of Deathcry. So as I said, like if it had any kind of key element to it, I just pretty much just picked it up, especially if it was a reasonable price. I got Captain America 290, which is the first appearance of Mother Superior, which is supposed to be the daughter of Red Skull. So I yeah, definitely picked that up. Captain America 324, which is the first cameo appearance of Slug, which I think his first full appearance was in a Spidey annual, actually. I think it was like a Spectacular Spidey annual. Real big, massive guy, like a mafia sort of boss sort of style sort of guy. So I thought, yeah, might as well just grab that. Don't think these have any key elements, but I was just, you know, picking them up because I do have a small Defenders run. So I got Defenders number 92. And then Eternity on the front there. Defenders number 93. Very cool looking cover there. And Defenders 124. So I said, no key elements to this. This was more just to add to my Defenders run that I have. I remember buying those cat books when they came out. Just showing your age, mate. That's all it is. No key element to this, but you can't go past some shiny 90s goodness. And once again, if I knew my boy Beckerman was watching, he'd love this. But Sleepwalker number 25. Let's see, it's a nice shiny 90s goodness. So I thought, and that's a double. Is it a double? Yeah, 48 pair. So not quite a double, but it's a bigger issue anyway. Defenders run is a great one to get. Yeah. And there's not too many key books in it, which is good. But yeah, just trying to track them down just when I can. Time can be cruel. Yes, it can. Only a few books. Yeah, I know you've been going for your Defenders run. Picked up some 90s Moon Knight as well. Don't think there's any key issues to these. More just some... Moon Knight's just one of those characters that occasionally, if the books are cheap, decent covers and stuff like that, and if it's in a run that I've got, I will pick them up. Yeah, what's wrong with Sleepwalker? So this is the Mark Spector Moon Knight series. So issue number 7. Obviously, I had to pick up this one because it's got Hobgoblin on the front and Spidey, obviously. Issue number 32. It's a very cool looking cover there. And once again, 90s hits, but this is not shiny. This is one of the die cut ones. So this is just the 50th issue. So I don't know whether you can't really see, but that's the die cut there, that sort of cut out. And I think that's really, really minor. But it's when Moon Knight actually leaves the Avengers. So, because he was part of the Avengers for a small while back in the 90s. He knew then what we know now. Yeah. And that's the story with everything. I would have bought 20 copies of ASM 300. Yeah. Exactly. Now, another one of my favorite characters, quite a while ago was Silver Surfer. I didn't pick up a lot of the early stuff because you didn't see much of it here, but I was collecting the stuff from the 90s. So I was able to pick up one book that I didn't have. I don't have the entire run, but there are quite a few books that I am missing. But almost like a Defenders versus Silver Surfer there. That's issue 58. So that to my run. And the other thing, obviously, people are specking on Warlock as well. Because of, he's coming to, I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think the movie is going to be in. So I've been trying to pick up any Warlock books that I see, especially the older ones. Definitely try to pick them up. So the 70s run of Warlock. So I was able to pick up issue number 13. I think that's like the first appearance of some dude named Star Thief, as you can see written down there. No idea, probably some, DE grade sort of villain or something like that. He probably dies in the second issue, which in saying that is number 14, which he probably actually dies in it anyway. And the last couple of books are all Thor books, which I wish my boy Remy was here to see, because I know he's a big Thor guy. Dear boy, New Mutants don't have. Yeah, so that's another. Like, obviously, I've spoken about Ultimate Fallout 4 a lot, but New Mutants 98's another book that I missed out on, left it way too late, and then come back into the COVID bubble, trying to get back into my big keys and stuff like that. And it's still an expensive book. Like, I'd be quite happy to pay $500 for it. But yeah, trying to find one for $500 or less is like near impossible now, unfortunately. It has dropped a little bit, I've noticed. But yeah, not a very easy book to find at a reasonable price anymore. Like, you haven't been that lucky yet to score something like that for the price like that. Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, last couple of books are Thor books. So you got Thor 391, which is actually the first appearance of Eric Masters. Eric Masters. I think it's Eric Masters. Masterson. Yeah. Who becomes Thunderstrike. So yeah, that's his actual first appearance. So sort of smallish sort of key, but yeah, still a cool book to have. Thor 286, which is, once again, one of those real D-grade villains. The first appearance of, I think it's Metabo or Metabo, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, something with a key element, as I said. So just pick that up. And lucky last, a bit more of an older Thor book. So Thor 163. Now, apparently, this is the, whether you go by, what's the bloody app called? The one that's not always right. Oh crap, Key Collector. They say this is the second cameo appearance of Adam Warlock. So I don't know whether that's actually true or not. Like I know in the Fantastic Four books, he was just classified as him. I still need that book as well. But yeah, so here's one. But when he actually became Warlock or Adam Warlock or whatever like that, it was in the Thor books. So I don't think this is the second cameo of Warlock, because I think it's like one. Oh, what is it? I thought it was like in the 150s, 140s, 150s, something like that. You actually see him on the cover and things like that. Unless this is early in that, I can't quite remember the numbers. But yeah, like Key Collector calls this second cameo of Adam Warlock, but whether that's true or not, as I said, I'll leave those things up to you. So yeah, so that's it for the pile. As I said, I thought I'd just do a random stream for a little while. What else we got here? Must have been 20 years ago. I don't see what the care is for New Mutants 98. It's still first appearance of Deadpool. He's still a major character. It's still just a book that I've wanted, for not as long as Ultimate Fallout 4, but it's still a book that I wouldn't mind getting. As I said, I don't really want to pay some ridiculous price for it. I'd be quite happy with a raw copy that's even a little bit beat up or something like for a couple $100. If somebody said, look, I've got one for $200, $300, I'd snap it up like that. But in saying that, I haven't ever come across one here any cheaper than about $800-900, which I don't feel the need to pay big dollars for modern keys. Werewolf and I were saying earlier, even like, as I said, like all those new books that I had were like $600 worth. I didn't have that kind of money at the time. I could buy a decent silver or bronze age key for that $600. But I'm looking at silver or bronze. Like if I start looking at like the 90s stuff, or the early 2000s stuff, so yeah, like New Mutants 98, or Ultimate Fallout 4, I just don't feel the need to pay like $1,000 for those, because they are a newer when I could buy a much older key for that same price. But in saying that, I might eventually have to, if I do, like, because I still want those two books, I might eventually have to just bite the bullet and do it. But yeah, hopefully something will come along. Like I'm quite happy. I don't really want a second print of Ultimate Fallout 4. I might have to. I have seen some. I know actually at Zars 84 at Sean's show, a guy was selling one for $250. I'd actually run out of money, so I didn't get a chance to buy it. I do prefer first print though, but I might have to come down to, if it's going to be the difference between buying a $250 second print and buying a $1,000 first print, I'd rather just buy the second print and be done with it. But fortunately, my run of New Mutants is in a box at my parents' house in England. I will ship it over one day. Well, if you've got if you've got two copies of New Mutants 98 in there, mate, and you're willing to sell one cheap, let me know. But yeah, so I think that's it. It's almost 10 p.m. here. I do have to work tomorrow, and it's obviously getting very late. I got a find a good deal when I got mine. Yeah, sometimes you can be lucky. Unfortunately, I'm not always that lucky. But yeah, as I was saying, it's almost 10 o'clock. I've got to work tomorrow. It's going crazy at work at the moment. I'm getting very tired very quickly, and still got a couple of weeks left of this month before I go on my Christmas holidays, which will be in about 2.5 weeks, I think. So I just thought, yeah. But thanks anybody who actually who jumped into the chat. Obviously, Werewolf's been here since the start. Thank you very much, mate. Sean just jumped in. Sarah popped in quickly, and also CJ Comic Journey jumped in as well. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Obviously, I'm not the most exciting channel or whatever like that, but you know, I work better with a smaller audience anyway. But yeah, thanks once again for tuning in. And if anybody catches this on the rewind, thank you very much for doing that as well. And Sean, I'll see you on Sunday. And everybody else, I'll see you on the next live stream I'm on, or obviously my pre-recorded videos. So hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and Spidey out. If I can hit the bloody end broadcast stupid button.